A Cyborg Manifesto, Science, Technology and Socialist Feminism in the late 20th century is the name of a very famous publication by Donna Haraway, who can be legitimately said to be the origin of this cyberfeminism and also cyber criticism. There were works before her, just like there were works engaged in studies of colonialism before Said, but we credit Orientalism as the origin. So, in the similar way, Donna Haraway's work left an impact in this intersection between technology and feminism like never before. So, you see, it is quite obvious, though there are complications inside in the theories. From the name itself, it is understandable. Cyber is that technological or technical space, cyberspace, and feminism, we all know, or at least we think we know. So there would be feminisms. In fact, it is so plural that even cyber feminism is not one today. There are cyber feminisms. So now Donna Haraway actually advanced the argument that technology has reached such a stage that we cannot talk about man and machine in isolation. Men have become more or less machines, and the reverse is also true. Machine are also becoming men, or the human, we can say. Abundant proven movies, though they are fictional, but they're based on reality, like the Matrix, or Mars attacks. So many of them, and then those Alien, these movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger, those kinds of things, Ghost Rider. So they are telling us about a future when the link between, human and machine would be more closer, and then in fact we would be acted upon by machine rather than being able to act through them. In Japan and USA, some restaurants have already started serving food with robot. Now, this is a technological advancement which is understood. Where does the question of feminism come from here? Well, it comes from two standpoints. There are two sharply divided class of critics regarding their stance on technological advancement and this kind of advancement vis-a-vis feminism. One group argues that it gives enough liberation to women. So that is the positive approach, or pro-cyber feminism approach, pro-cyber culture approach, we can say. And this is true, through Facebook, through WhatsApp, many women, especially men too, but women also are, coming into terms with the outer world like never before. I have heard that in places like Pakistan or some of the Gulf countries where women are kept under rigid social control, they are trying to breaking the barriers through this digital media. And then some works women can do online, a lot of works, which in a way also saves them from the trouble of going out to work, which is not taken well in traditional social pattern. So all these are positive attitude. Now there is a negative attitude to cyber culture also, and I would not say cyber feminism, but then cyber feminism's criticism, or oppositional criticism of this cyber culture is very much like the social space. They argue the cyber space is also male dominated. If all the powerful presidents and popes of the world are women, you see also who owns, I'm giving a crass example in a way, but it's important. Who owns this Google, Facebook, and all that? Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, this kind of people. No lady. Secondly, since the majority of the consumers of the world, due to historical reasons, are male consumers, and the cyberspace is full of, constituents, in a way, services which cater more to male than female. That is also this inequality which is there in society is carried on also in the cyberspace. Thirdly, actually, you see this cyborg is a very important concept, not exactly coined by Donna Haraway, but elaborated by her. That interstices or liminality between man and machine. Actually, humans with some inputs have become machine. That is the ideal cyborg. Partially, we all have become. I have a spectacle pair of, spectacles. Some people may have pacemaker, but these are the primitive thing. But now more and more, some people use maybe artificial retina. I'm not sure of other people. So gradually, maybe at some point of time, a time will come when entire human body is an assemblage of other things without anything of its own. I don't know whether it is positive or negative. Personally, I somehow cannot accept this idea because we have been nurtured in the idea of the organic whole. Anyway, coming to that point, now see the robots. What are the representational images of the cyborg in the movies and other things? It is mostly male, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Or you look at the composition of the robots that's and they represent the male figure, not the female figure. Yes, there are exceptions, say like Matrix, uh, Angelina Jolie, if I'm not wrong, in Matrix. But there also, the composition or presentation of Angelina Jolie is basically for the male audience and male heterosexual audience. There, this homosexual and feminists somehow get together. Heterosexual society and the consumerism of heterosexual society has problems at two levels. First one is presupposition, second one is imposition. First of all, the producers, directors, and all they presuppose or presume that all are heterosexual. Even within males, all are heterosexual. So they make things that way. Of course, there is a counterculture and a lot of gay things, queer things are coming, but they are not the mainstream. Okay, so just as we say, northeast and mainstream, and I find it shocking, mainstream Indian, why aren't we mainstream? It can be reversed, but anyway, the thing is like that, people say. So the queer cyber culture is also not considered mainstream, or mainstream culture is the male heterosexual culture, and Arnold Schwarzenegger of the Alien is the typical representative of that. So feminist critics, now I think you have got those who take up cyberspace as their space, they critique all these things as once feminist critic has said, that we have to mutate ourselves to continuously keep bringing, mutation is a kind of cyborg term, all the insights and information and ideological tools that we have in general feminism to the cyberspace as well, to contest the continuation of patriarchal misrepresentation of women, suppression of women, subjugation of women through the cyber media. So that is real cyber feminism. The first part of cyber feminism are those cyber feminists who actually celebrate openness of women, which is good through cyber media. They are not aware of the bigger scheme, like the great game in Rudyard Kipling's game. What is that great game? Obviously, the imperial game. So, I think this is cyber feminism. Remember, mostly Donna Haraway to begin with, and you can proceed on your own. Thank you.